can't wait to see through walls. I can't wait to see in the dark. It was so painful. It felt as though my face had been run over by a truck. Good morning, everyone. So today is consultation day and we've got the perfect gloomy weather outside. I have opted for a grey jumper and hat today. I just felt as though it would probably be pointless getting ready and all dressed up because she's not going out clubbing, but also I just thought a lot of people are going to be putting their hands on my face and touching me, and not in a good way, but I just thought it probably was best not to treat it as though I'm going out to meet a man. Although I probably should do, because how else am I going to meet a man? It also says to bring your current prescription as well. I did look last night, but I can't actually find it, so I think I'm just going to go ahead without it. Surely by doing all those tests on my eyes, that'll give them more of an accurate prescription than the one that was done a few months ago, maybe. I don't know. She's not an optometrist. I'm telling someone how to do their job there, and that's not what I'm here for. As far as thinking about the actual consultation taking place, that's not my main worry right now. I seem to have like a list of worries going on in my head. The first one being, I've never driven to this clinic before, and that's making me a little bit nervous. I do feel as though I am a good driver. When did anybody ever say that they were a terrible driver? Just because it's a new area and I've never been there before. I'm sure all of that knowledge will be available when I get there, which is why I've opted to leave a little bit earlier just to give some leeway on that. And it does actually say not to drive there or try and find somebody that can drive you there. The only problem I've got is I actually have no way of getting there if I don't drive myself. So that's just something that I'm gonna have to do. Hiya, can I have a
white chocolate mocha frappuccino,
please? Please, yeah. Can I have it with coffee, please?
Yeah.
That's everything. Yeah, thanks. I am a bit nervous now. I'm only nervous because I don't want the surgeon to turn around and say, oh, I'm sorry, you can't have it done because your eyes are shaped like triangles. And I think that would really devastate me, especially because I've gone to this much trouble to go out, to speak to the surgeon, the consultation and all that. I mean, that is the entire point of a consultation, you dumb bitch. That's what inside my head just said to me. Get me a Starbucks. Hi. Can I pay my card? Thank you. See ya. Oh, she'd left the window. Come on. Well, I can't move into that lane now because you're over too. I'm in the wrong lane anyway. Just cutting up all them lanes. So sorry everyone, don't know where I'm going. It's a slit road, move! Why don't the signs say every last place that's on there? Why is it always 8 miles away and then the next city 52 miles away, and you're like, well, where do I go in between? Now I feel even stupider. Now I feel even more stupid. Anyway, I feel like a dumb because the blazing hot sun has now decided to rear its head. So I'm sweating, I'm boiling. Oh, this weather's so hot. It's a good job I didn't wear any makeup or anything because it would have just melted off. That's such an over-exaggeration because we literally live in the UK. What I mean by so hot is it's really like muggy and wet and humid, and it's that kind of like hard to breathe heat. Basically, I know what I'm talking about because I can feel it and it's not nice. So I've just parked up now. Whew. To say I'm a bit nervous would be a slight understatement right now. I'm actually a lot nervous. I'm just so worried that I can't have the surgery done, that's all. It's a huge insecurity of mine, wearing glasses, huge. I feel so insecure, and if you look at my Instagram or any picture that I take of myself, I tend to take my glasses off. When I go on nights out, I don't wear my glasses either. I tend to just sort of squint through the night. I don't know, so it's probably not the best time for me to talk about my feelings. Or maybe the best time, I don't know. I do think that I am slightly regretting not dressing up. Not because I want to look fabulous or that I think I look like Do I look like Maybe. Basically, I've just got it in my head that I'm going to have a super fit surgeon that's going to be such a masculine daddy that's going to do my eyes there and then. But this is just the inner monologue running through my head. I feel like I'm sat here chatting and that's because I'm really nervous. I'm really nervous.
Really nervous.
Ah, part of me really doesn't want to go in. Oops, I'm going to because I want my eyes lasered. Oh, this lockdown hair. The stupid glare on my glasses. God, thank God I'm having my eyes lasered. So when I walked into... Zachary's liked me on Hinge. I don't even have Hinge anymore. I don't even have the app. I thought I'd deleted my account. Nah, well, sorry Zachary, but you're missing out on this stud.
Hello.
I'm back. So I've wanted to just sit down and talk about the consultation. I've woken up this morning, my eyes are slightly sensitive to the light. The pupils aren't as huge as they were
Massive.
They said to me that the eye drops that they use will cause blurry vision and I won't be able to see. Too right. I looked at my phone screen and it was completely blurry. So I walked into the clinic, everything was pristine, everything was nice, the receptionist was lovely, and they took me upstairs and I waited in the waiting room there. And then one of the advisors came to get me. We discussed pretty much everything really. He discussed it more on a simple level and said that the surgeon would discuss it on more of a technical level, just basically say big words that I've never heard of before to make me pay for it. But he drew this really good diagram actually, and it basically just explained that the reason as to why you can't see properly if you wear glasses is because light isn't getting into your eyes as much as somebody with a thin layer of skin, whereas mine's quite thick, which is why I need glasses to help me see. While everybody was talking to me, I was paying attention and I was listening. But I kept thinking to myself, well, this is all so pointless if I can't actually have the procedure done. And I'm so excited to say that I can have the surgery done. I have an astigmatism, so my eyes are shaped like rugby balls and my pupils are really big. That will be corrected through the surgery. I'm just gonna put some lip balm on while I chat. Oh, there she blows. Right, now we're all hydrated. So I was going to film a video today to talk about what's happened with my eyes, how I'm feeling, the whole procedure. Then my car decided not to start, so I've just called out the cavalry now and I'm waiting to jump start it, and I can take it to Halfords and see what's happened. I literally look like a bag of dicks and not the nice kind. After a day of my life I won't get back, a battery replacement and £125 later, my car is sorted. Now that my Top Gear audition's out of the way, let's talk about my eyeballs. If you can hear a buzzing, I do actually think there is a dying wasp in here. I mean, me when I'm not the centre of attention. Right, thank you. Also, did just want to say, I've noticed when editing my videos that I don't actually look into the camera and I'm not like talking directly at the camera. And to be honest, to me personally, I watch YouTubers like that because I think it's more personal and I much prefer an indie YouTube channel over like a huge big production. I personally think it's a lot more personal this way and I can relate more to somebody that's doing vlogs about a normal life. So if you would like me to talk into the camera like this, let me know. This is probably the first time that I felt comfortable enough to sit down in front of natural sunlight, talking in front of the camera. My eyes don't feel dry or groggy anymore. They feel as though, like, I can definitely tell that there's been something done to them, obviously. Like, I can tell that somebody's poked around in there, or... This is the disclaimer, by the way, for any gory details. That's what proper YouTubers do. So if you don't want to listen to anything to do with the eyes, skip. I do just want to make it well known, though, that this is not me, like, being chaotic. It's my own experience. I do think, though, that I was misled. I kind of feel as though I was led to believe that it was instantaneous. That's the right word I'm looking for, instantaneous. And that my eyes would be completely clear immediately. I was last of the night, of course. Best till last is what I said, but somebody in the waiting room said, well, the surgeon's going to be tired after a long day and you're going to be last of the day. And I was like, great, thanks for that. We won't be exchanging numbers, see ya, hon. I suppose towards the end of people going in, like the last guy in front of me that went in, that's when it really, I got that like sinking feeling in my stomach, and I was like, oh my god, this is actually happening now. It was my turn to go in, and I went in, and the room is almost like a dentist office. There's like a long bed that you lie on, and obviously all of the lights and the equipment come over your head, similar to a dentist. I lay down. They were sort of doing that like awkward nurse talk where they're like, oh, you've got so many tattoos, you mustn't be scared of pain. And I'm like, blasting my eyes with a laser is not having a tattoo. They don't sit the same. And when I say yanked, she yanked my eye open and put the drops in, which numb your eyes, can't feel a thing. They then swing you round, and all I can describe it as is like a suction comes onto your eye. And that I originally thought when I was having it done, I was like, oh my god, and I was expecting to smell certain things, and I didn't, and I thought, wow, that was quick. Like, but that laser just cuts the eye open. It just cuts the flap of skin. I didn't know that until he swung me round, and then they clamped my eye, which again, I just felt pressure. It just felt as though something had gone in, and something had gone in that way. Like, it didn't hurt at all. My eyes were completely numb. And then the next thing is, this is probably the most scariest thing about having the procedure done, like hands down the scariest thing. Imagine you're in a dentist, and when the dentist comes over you with all the tools, but then it goes into your mouth and you're kind of okay with that, but you still get that like, oh my god, he's coming at me with sharp tools. Imagine that, elevate it by 10, and the tools are going into your eye. And I could see that he took the flap of skin up, and that's when my vision disappeared. And it goes away for about 2 or 3 seconds, and then you kind of see like you're underwater, blurred lights. But luckily, because you're in a dark room anyway, like duh, and it's black because all the lights are turned off, and you've just got this circled ring light so the surgeon can see what he's doing, really bright light. It didn't really matter that much. I know that if I was in a room that was well lit and my vision went and then it went blurred, that would be a lot scarier than what I actually did see. And then the machine comes down and the laser does its work. And this is where I was like, this is where I'm going to smell my eye burning. A lot of people that have had it done have said you can smell your eye burning. That's probably the most horrific part. It is not the most horrific part. The most horrific part was probably my eyes being yanked open to put the drops in, or the scary tools coming towards my eye. It wasn't as horrific as people have made out. It literally smelled like singeing hair on the straighteners. That's my interpretation of it anyway. I know that people smell differently. The laser lasted about 15 seconds, and then they repeated the process on the other eye, and when the procedure was done, I sat up. It felt as though I had something in my eye, in terms of like, I had like a clamp in my eye and I couldn't properly blink. I could definitely feel that there'd been like somebody's hand had been in my eyes, basically. That's how I can describe that it felt like. To be fair, actually, this is where I kind of had an issue, and personally, I would have liked to have sat up and been a bit like, whoa. and just taking a minute, but they were very much like, we need to get you in to see the nurse now. She needs to go through all the medication that you need to take, all the eye drops, that kind of thing. Whereas I just kind of wanted a minute because I'd got up and my vision was, I could definitely see that it was going to be clearer. I could definitely see that it was going to be clearer, but it was blurred. It was blurry and I was sensitive to the light and I didn't want to open the door and go out. Because I'm an anxious soul, I think that's what it was. And I think I would have liked to have turned around and just said, please can I just have a minute? But, you know, obviously it doesn't really work like that. The first night, for me, is the key words, was horrendous. And this is where I said before that I was kind of led to believe that it was, you can just live your best life that same day, like the day after, but was I wrong. So my eyes started to really sting. They started to really sting. It got to the point where the pain was so much that I was clamping my eyes shut and they were streaming, which is normal. They told me that was going to be normal. And the tip is that you let whatever's coming out of your eyes come out of your eyes and you wipe it from your face. You do not touch your eyes. It was so painful. It felt as though my face had been run over by a truck. Here, there was so much pressure here. My nose was blocked, it was running. Here was so painful, like behind my eyes. There was so much pressure. But as of the day after the first night, didn't have any pain, and I've not had any pain now. You don't remember pain, like scientifically, your brain doesn't remember pain. So it's actually not that bad, which is why maybe a lot of people don't talk about how horrendous the first night is. I don't know if that's true, but I just wanted to be 100% truthful and real in this video because I wanted to help somebody that my first night was really bad. In front of me is crystal clear. Whatever's in front of me right now is crystal clear. I kind of liken it to the Minecraft map that's kind of like loading slowly with every day. What I did try and do was have a nap in the middle of the day yesterday, and then when I woke up to try and see if sleeping would make me see a little bit more. It doesn't work like that. I do think that it's just going to take time, and this is where I feel as though things mislead you, is that you don't get perfect vision the day after. I only put my eye drops in now. There's 2 eye drops I have to take, and that's 4 times a day. So that's breakfast, lunch, tea, sleep, and so far so good. I know obviously a lot of that was talking about some of the bad things. This is day 4. 4 days after my surgery, and I feel really good, feel really positive about it. Yeah. My pro tip would probably be, if you're going to have it done, you're definitely going to have it done, maybe buy a pair of sunglasses that you can just put on afterwards, because all my sunglasses are prescription sunglasses. It just means that it's even blurrier when I put them on, so when the sun's a bit harsh on my eyes, I can't see. And then I went home, my eyes were bloodshot, insert clips here or whatever. I mean, it wasn't painful or anything.